Well, let's talk business now on TVC Breakfast. On our table today, we will be discussing how to keep and track your money. Well, with the COVID-19 pandemic taking over the world, it has upped the pace of technological change in the financial services industry. Many are looking for technological solutions that promises flexibility, like the Buy Now, Pay Later scheme, is a collection of loan, among others. Well, this has caused a shift from the traditional banking to using fintech, which majorly deals in online banking, mobile payment apps, or even cryptocurrency. However, there is a longer-term goal to revolutionize the way individuals and businesses manage money day to day. As digitization booms, there is tendency for every player in this sector to innovate in order to ensure a great customer experience. Well, joining me in the studio is Managing Director, Stellus Technology Services, Solomon Bukola. It's good to have you join us on TVC Breakfast. So before we talk about the opportunities, the advantages that this technology has for us, let's take a look at what is responsible for this increase in funding that fintech companies are getting. And especially when you look at the last 1 year, we see that we have so many fintech companies now, and it's changing the narrative in digital banking.
Yeah, good morning, Sarah. Thank you once again. Thank you for having me here.
It's good to see you.
There is a lot of funding coming into fintech industry. If you look at it globally and in the Western country, the fintech has been booming for quite a while, but in Africa it's just coming up. And the Western country has seen that technology is the next oil industry, oil boom, as we experienced here in Africa or in Asia. Technology is the next thing, and we've seen a lot of innovation coming into technology, and most especially the fact that customers are actually looking for ease of doing business. Customers are looking for how they can have access to services, you know, without
walking into the bank.
Yeah, without actually stressing themselves. You know, customers are looking for innovative way. Another major thing is that technology and innovation, especially, is actually helping companies to be able to develop tailored services or services that can actually suit your lifestyle. You know, everybody just wants something that would make them comfortable. For instance, you know, you are seated there and you feel like, okay, how I wish I can actually send money cross-border without actually leaving my home. You know, technology has actually made things a lot easier for people. And even banking, and even in the fintech space, you find out that a lot of things are happening in the fintech and the banking space, and that has actually revolutionized the banking sector, because people actually don't want to go through that rigorous, as you know, queuing at the bank, going through a lot of things. You know, banking can be simple. Banking can be enjoyable, and banking can actually be fun. You understand? And people don't want to actually, you know, banking should not be monotonous. You know, and that's what gave rise to a lot of digital bank, a lot of neo banks. You know, as of today, neo banks globally worth about $333 billion, and is growing at a CAGR of about 47%. You know, it's actually growing. A lot of people, and also the COVID-19 pandemic also helped. You know, COVID-19 pandemic, you're all at home, but you want to do your transactions, and you find out that, okay, there's a bank online that can actually help you do everything without actually stepping out. That also gave rise to the likes of features like contactless payment. You can make payment without touching anything. You know, empowered by the radio frequency identification and near field communication. You understand? So all those things really helped, you know, the rise in fintech and technology.
I can tell you, I've not been in a banking hall for like 2 years now.
Yes.
So that's of course, this is pretty interesting. But we want to look at what makes Omar's innovative ideas like this is seamless operations.
Yes.
And with this fintech, we've also seen rise in cyber crimes and stuff. In terms of attending to inquiries, response to customer complaints, how critical is it to get things right and keep the channels of communication open? Yeah,
you actually talked about cybercrime. Definitely, you know, when innovators are doing things, they're actually doing things in order to be able to make things easy, you know, good, easy, make life easy for people. And you know, every good things also have people who are also thinking about to actually take advantage of it, you understand? Yeah. And that's what has also led to the rise also in high-level encryption. You know, fintech is actually growing, and actually growing faster than security measure. And the innovators have actually known that the way technology is rising, security also needs to rise as well. And so that's why a lot of things have been put in place. For example, like, you know, people's data needs to be protected. There needs to be a data privacy and all that. And that's why you are seeing features like that of the ghost mode that helping people to be able to protect their data. You understand?
Which is very important.
When you talk about, you know, attending to customers, you know, complaint, it's also very critical. And that's one area that the fintech industry is actually looking at. You know, people feel that if they don't walk into the bank to lay their complaints, they feel that that complaint will not be attended to, and that's actually not right. You know, in the fintech industry, that's why, you know, these days, fintech or technology is actually bringing service to the customer. You actually don't need to go there. You know, in those days, banks focus more on funds that the banks need to have. They focus so much on the asset. These days, they focus on the customer. The customer is the asset. And what fintech is doing is that it enables you to be able to take the service to the customer. And so when customers even have a complaint, you need to have a proper system, an online system that will ensure that the customer complaint is absolutely solved. Unlike in those days when you make a call, you understand, and if there's a drop call, you don't expect them to call back. In fintech, you need to even make the call back, because you need to ensure that that complaint is absolutely resolved. Because there's no place, the customer might not have the time to be able to walk up to you, but you have to ensure that that customer's complaint is resolved online, and then there would be no need for the customer to start looking for, you know, where to come and meet you to solve that particular complaint. And that, in other way, build trust with the kind of, you know, online services that is available now.
Of course, you know that, of course, the older folks would not really trust the system, because they want to see a system where they can touch their money, go to the bank, write checks, and then see how their money moves out and in. But that huge pool of the unbanked, apart from those who still want to do it the old way, there is still that pool of the unbanked population, and those offline that are not able to use the social media or use technology. How do we make a full inclusion of this shift to win this market?
Yeah, the future of fintech is actually also focused on financial inclusion. You'll find out that one of the benefits of fintech even to any country is that it helps the country to be able to meet your development goals. And one of the development goals in Nigeria is financial inclusion. As at this year, no, 2020, the target of CBN is to have everybody, about 80% of the whole population included as part of those who are banked. But we were unable to achieve that. We were only able to achieve about 64%, and 36% is yet to be achieved. And the future of fintech is to, just as I said before, is to take these set of people that are unbanked, are the people that literally maybe due to their location are far from where financial services are going on. And it will be expensive for you to see a bank to probably put a branch, in those locations. So what you need to do is to probably come up with innovative way of taking the service to them. And that's what has led actually to the rise of agency banking today. There's a mobile device, you can take it, maybe not to their house, but to the vicinity of these people, and they don't need to walk into the bank. They just need to walk to someone and do their transactions. So the focus on fintech is actually majorly on financial inclusion. I believe the target of CBN is by 2024 we should be able to have about 95%. So with more innovation, we'll be able to have more people, that is banked majorly by just taking the service directly to them.
Interesting. But let's use 2021 as an example. What's your outlook for this year, especially for the financial services sector? Yeah,
the outlook for this year is, there's going to be quite a number of disruption. It's already happening.
It's happening.
Yes, and quite a number of disruption, and things cannot be done the old ways any longer. We have to find a way of making things easy and convenient for people and easy access. You know, people just want to have access to this thing without, you know, going through a lot of stress. So by 2021, already 2021 is gone, 2022, we are going to see more funding going into the fintech space. We're going to see more collaboration. There is an industry coming up now that is called the API economy, which is more or less like collaboration and also open bank data. You know, there's going to be a lot of collaboration in the financial space. We are going to see a lot of traditional bank collaborating with the fintech, you understand, to be able to get more people enable more people have access to financial services.
Managing Director, Stellar's Technology Services, Solomon Bukola, thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you. We're welcome.